fam. I pray everyone is doing real good. So, I came here today. This is actually going to be a stretch for me because I don't talk about anything that's private in my life. I typically just come on and just give, scripture or word, what the Father is putting in my spirit to release to His people. But I really think that this will be helpful, especially in a time like this right now, because you're going to notice that people are going to start to begin to become even more and more difficult to deal with, even more and more challenging to get along with truthfully. And in that, you just have to remember who you are and remember that you don't wrestle against flesh and blood, like demonic entities be influencing people. And the reality is every thought, not even their thoughts. Some people's actions are just 150% demonically influenced. Some people are just confused. Some people are just honestly very immature beings in human form, like in human bodies, grown up, but like their actual growth stunted, their maturity kind of stopped wherever the trauma began. So you real life got some people out here that's like 13, 15 years old, walking around in 30, 40-year-old bodies with 30, 40-year-old, that's had 30, 40 birthdays, but they're still in a childish state of mind. Like, what do you do with that? You know what you do with it? You give it to God, because you're not in control of anybody's actions or anybody's behaviors other than your own. And for me, with my children, they have different dads. So when it comes down to my peace, let me tell you, if the father of your child or the mother of your child, if they're being difficult, I just want to give you some pointers on how to handle it. For one, I just want to let you know that your responsibility is to serve God, love your child, and be that parent. They really have free will. They don't have to be who your child needs them to be, and that is all the way between them and God. You need to understand that it may seem sometimes like they get away. You only really, in a lot of cases, know their lifestyle from the outside, or from the surface, should I say. You don't know if that person had peace when they go to sleep. That person may seem like they're living it up, but you really don't know what's going on in the background, what's going on in their head, what has them responding or acting the way that they do. And you know what? It's not even for you to figure out. It really isn't for you to figure out. When it comes down to your child, if you have a difficult, because I have beautiful situations, but then you sometimes just have people that just want to be a Jerkosaurus Rex, you know what I'm saying, or a real life Decepticon. And like, when does that become your issue? It doesn't. Reason being is because your responsibility is to serve God, to take heed to His instructions, and He'll lead you and guide you on what to do. And sometimes you got to take an L to get, that win. So when it comes down to things that may make you tick, or when a person, that person does things out of spite towards you to hurt your child, because let me tell you, especially like if you were dealing with a narcissist, if that person cannot get a response out of you, or they can't hurt you directly, then they're okay with hurting that child just to hurt you. Like, that's just, what they unfortunately do, and may God help them with that. But is that your issue? No. Should you go off and start popping off and telling that child, oh, well, your mom is this or your dad is that? Like, nah, you don't do that. You know what you do? You let that child see for themselves. You encourage that child, pray for your parent. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what that child prayers may do. You know what I'm saying? We were all wilding at some point doing something. It was in the wrong. It could have died in that. You know what I'm saying? And God had mercy on us. So the same mercy and grace that God gives us, we really got to give to other people, because we don't know what's going on in their head or what's really going on. And not only that, sometimes what we see as rejection is God's protection, because a lot of times these parents, they're already showing you who they are, and that they're not willing to be responsible and have eyes for your child. That could be God's way of protecting your child from being in a situation where it could be detrimental to them. They could be in a situation where they're not being watched and something can happen. Parents are a big influence on children. It could be God's way of keeping your child from their mind and their spirit being polluted whatever ages they are, we may not understand why things are happening the way that they are, but we just have to accept it and trust why God is allowing it. You know what I'm saying? Love on that child. Let that child know, like, you know what? You're enough. Their behavior is not a reflection of you. They got their own issues, and their issues really don't got nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Pray for them, and you gonna be great. You gonna be great. That's between them and God. And at the end of the day, a lot of these parents that aren't doing right by their child, they are bringing judgment upon themselves. They are bringing God's judgment because children are innocent, and they sit around and they wonder why they find themselves going in circles, and why they can't move forward, why their lives is just in chaos, and why they're tormented. It's because they're not doing right by their child. Do you sit there and do you try to kick a man while they down, kick a woman while they? You just gotta find peace in knowing that God is leading you to walk a walk of forgiveness. Everything that you went through, everything you're going through now is to help somebody else. You being the parent that God has called you to be, you having the heart God has called you to have, you experiencing everything you experience is for somebody else. I can sit here and I can hold this because somebody want to judge and say something. Okay, pop off. I'd have probably heard it all before. Okay, say it. But at the end of the day, if what I'm going through, my testimony can help one person, then it's worth it. God didn't allow me to go through the stuff I went through, make the decisions I made. I could be dead. I could be in an AIDS ward. I could have, you know what I'm saying, been in a freaking psych ward. Like, anything could have happened, but God allowed me to come out of my situations. He's leading me and guiding me and showing me who he is for me to be able to come to the next person and say, you know what, God love you too. God got you too. Just like God did it for me, he's going to do it for you. He's going to bring you out. How do I know? I'm not telling you this because I want you to feel good. I do want you to feel great and be great, but I'm telling you this because I know, because I've experienced this. God is an experience, y'all. 100. So forgive them. Give them over to God. And you be who God called you to be. And that's all that you're responsible for. And find peace in that. You find your peace in that. Don't be moved by what they say. Don't be moved by what they do. Because then you giving the enemy, you giving the devil straight satisfaction, bruh. And I promise you, won't get it out of me. You won't get it out of me. Not because of me, but because of God, and because who's in me, and because greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world, not now. But I love y'all. All right, I'm out. Bye.